Welcome back. Do you know anyone who dumpster dives? We do. And in this segment, we'll tell you why anyone might choose this lifestyle.
Freeganism, specifically for me with dumpster diving, is about highlighting food waste. So this is a huge environmental disaster. What we're talking about is every day American industry alone is throwing away 150 million pounds of food, which is the equivalent of 523 Titanics each year, just thrown away of food. So it's kind of an environmental, for me, it's an environmentally conscious diet. After a while, it occurred to me that there was so much being thrown out that, I might be able to survive this way. And so it sort of started as a personal challenge, like an adventure, that through the process of eating this way, just to see if I could, that's where the passion developed. That's where I started reading about dumpster diving, reading about food waste, and learning more about it. And so my passion for this came through practice. It was totally unintentional. Supporting yourself as a freegan, it can vary. Some weeks you'll go once and you'll find enough food to last you for 2 weeks. Some weeks it's a bit thinner and you might have to dive twice. At this point though, just because I enjoy it, I probably dive at least 4 times a week. And it's not like a long time investment. It may be I go out, spend 5 minutes at a dumpster and I'm gone. It's pretty quick and easy. There's so much food that's wasted that while I know most people think that, it must be difficult to do this, but for me it's the equivalent of what another person might do just going to the store. So when I first started doing this, I was tremendously concerned about how I might be perceived. I didn't tell anyone really, except for a few of my closest friends, that, hey, I've decided to just eat food from the trash. After a while, I started, occasionally I would tell someone else and they would, respond sort of positively. And so eventually I started realizing that, for the most part, the people with whom I associate don't care. And then the people that are turned off by this, generally speaking, are people that, I'm sure they're great, but these aren't people that I would probably be spending my time with anyway. So at this moment in time, I feel totally comfortable telling people that, I eat food waste, and that's pretty much all I eat. And I feel no shame about that. I feel, in fact, happy to talk about it. I'm in a unique position to tell people about the environmental problem of food waste. Take as much as you can use. You always leave the rest because somebody else might come by needing it. And then in addition, if you show up at a dumpster and someone else is already there, you wait unless they invite you to come and join them. First, I'd say if somebody's interested in being a freegan, you need to consider that there are multiple ways for you to do this. One that obviously we're talking about today is dumpster diving, but hey, you can also do urban foraging for plants that are out in the city. There's a lot of stuff in DC that's edible, that grows natively. As well, you can have a garden. If you're mostly interested in dumpster diving, first, it'd be a good place to start would be to be looking at internet forums and learn sort of about what diving etiquette is. That's tremendously important if you want to make sure that once you've found your dumpster that it doesn't get locked. You need to know how to behave yourself. And then two, a lot of people seem to be concerned, how do I find a dumpster? How do I get started? Frankly, just go out and look. Just open the dumpster and take a look inside. If you're looking behind a grocery store, odds are you're going to find something, and odds are it'll be something you can eat. In places like DC that are really packed cities, A lot of places have trash compactors and things like that, so you'll have to look and find an actual dumpster. And once you find it, you know, don't tell everyone about it. Just take the food and take only what you need, and be thankful for your meal, but also be recognizing the systems of waste and privilege that have entitled you to this food.
Joining us in the studio to talk more about dumpster diving is student producer Gary Salcedo. Gary, welcome to Student Exposure.
How are you doing?
Great. Now, Gary, what would be the impact if more people started dumpster diving?
If there was a greater number of people dumpster diving, I believe that there would be greater awareness of the movement, of the issue in general. It would highlight the issues that we have concerning the distribution of food in this country and of food waste in particular. I think that there's things to be learned about our patterns of consumption and the dysfunction that exists in our means of distribution of food. I think that people would be interested in why this need is occurring and what are the ramifications of it.
Now, Gary, after hearing Will's story, would you personally try dumpster diving?
At first I would have said no, because it seems to be a socially complex situation to put oneself in. But after seeing after talking with Will and seeing his lifestyle and understanding the reasons why he does it in particular, I'd probably feel more comfortable organizing or going with groups of people to prevent food waste as it's happening. They call it food rescue, and people go to organizations and companies and glean food for them and bring them to places. There's actually a law in place since 1996 called the Emerson Act that makes it very impossible almost to sue the organizations that donate food. So accepting areas of gross negligence or intentional misconduct, an organization can take the food off of their own shelves and donate it at their own discretion to organizations that will feed people in need.
Well, Gary, thanks for sharing this fascinating information and story with our Student Exposure audience.
All right, thank you.
Dumpster diving is not for everyone, but if you would like to learn more about Freeganism, visit www.freegan.info. And after this short break, we'll take a look at zines.